got some good luck. We got some comfort trucks. We got Justin Dukes as a guest, and look what we do. Lucky for you, we got that comfort food. We're taking slap shots and all these other things. We got we're back here lying and the truth. We're back here in this room. It's just gonna be me and you, and then also Justin Dukes. We're coming straight from you. Back in the studio, Legends Podcasting. Tell everybody out there, like, share, subscribe. Go check out Justin Dukes on Instagram, dukes.justin. It's got some beautiful food, and see what you can get. Don't miss out. They're coming straight to the house. Let's see how that goes, huh? So, I never said it was going to be good. I just said I was going to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, this is another episode of Lying in the Truth. Like, share, subscribe. Get out there. Please help the page. Go to the top of YouTube. We have a donation button on the top. If you want to participate, go ahead and click that and donate and help the show. And once again, Justin Dukes, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, the thing I've really enjoyed about this show so far that I said I've got about 98 episodes in. And when I have people on here, I've known forever. My parents still live in the same house since I was 4. The phone number's the same. When people are like, man, how do I get a hold of you? I'm like, dude, it's literally the same phone number since I was 4 years old. You know, Angel I've known since I was 5, you know, so I've had these people I've known my whole life. You know, I know you from back in the day, we played baseball at Scandinavian.
Yes, we did.
You know, Scandinavian was a different thing because, like, I grew up, I went to Tarpey, but everybody who went to Scan was either a Fresno kid or an outskirt Clovis High kid, typically. Yeah, okay, here, sweet, here we go. Yeah, Instagram, comfy.foodtruck and Instagram. Make sure you go check out that. That's his Instagram page. Make sure you go check out that right away. Man, this food looks great. Oh, that is a great logo.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah.
I had a buddy from Texas draw it up for me and kind of help I'm not artistic whatsoever. Yeah. I can cook, but I can't even plate food well.
Yeah, you don't have the artistic part.
No.
You have that. You can get the flavor.
I can jack up a stick figure. I'm bad.
Hey, that's okay. Man, all this food looks like everything my wife just craves. This is all yummy. Great. I didn't eat before I came here, so that's just going to be constant. If anybody knows me at work, it's funny. We put that mic right a little bit closer, so just point it. There we go. There you go. I'd say a couple things during the day. Mainly what I say at work every day about 200 times is, I'm hungry. That's pretty much my life. And I'm like, man, I'm hungry. What are we going to eat? Let's leave break. I'm hungry. They can just eat tacos. I know, but man, I'm still fucking hungry. You know, your food truck is over there on, you said Willow and Shepherd. Yeah, it's a beautiful area out there. If you need wood, got wood right there. But man, it's a really awesome area. I said my kids and my ex-wife lives over there, so I've driven by it many times. The trucks are all set up. It's just how the town is expanding and getting to different areas. You know, those food truck events are not a novelty, but the future.
I think so.
You know, 100%.
It's rolling real estate for us, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how we feed our family. It's how we feed your family.
Yeah. Well, we like my wife said, we go out to eat. This happens all the time. Like, what are we going to get? And then we look at the restaurant, like, we're going to drive over here. Well, I don't want to drive there. You know, like, well, we want this. Well, okay, I guess I'll eat Bobby Salazar's again. You know what I mean? So I was like, but if you go there, you know, besides your food you see on these pictures, like, you pretty much have, you know, you cover an array of different items in your food truck, but there's the opportunities there for everybody to get a delicious meal.
Yeah, for sure. You know? We're like a big family out there, all the different trucks that are there. But what's cool is, like we were talking about before, if you come out and your kids want hamburgers or mac and cheese and you want, you know, pasta with meatballs, and your wife wants pizza, you know, you can get it. Everything from like Asian fusion to regular burgers and fries and everything in between. Yeah.
You know, this is great. As you were mentioning, I've said we are actually of the same age. We graduated both in '94. This is old school. We had something special that a lot of people don't have and don't understand. Is you went to Clovis High and I went to Clovis West. I do think I should have went to Clovis High. I always tell, like, so we went to Tarpey, and then some reason the cutoff was like somewhere around Minnewawa or like Clovis Avenue. So a lot of my friends, like Cody Baldwin, Chris Ing, Stan Green, they are all kids I grew up with. They all went to Clovis High.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then people I played baseball with. I played baseball with you. I played baseball with Campbell. Let's say we're talking about Lopez. A lot of these people all went to Clovis High also. And then the people I went to Kasner, I just joke around. My mom had made my clothes, you know? And so I'm like, my mom's old school Mexican, make my own clothes. And I went to Kasner and people wore like Z Cavariccis. I'm all, oh, cool, your mom put your name on your clothes? I should get my mom to put my name on my clothes. Mr. Cavaricci, how you doing, you know? So, but it was a culture shock for me. I saw a Chevy S10, and I always remember like, whoa, that's a cool car. I've never seen a Chevy S10 Blazer before, you know, at Tarpey. It was broke, you know, so I was like, wow, this is fucking different. But if I would have went to Clovis High rather than Clovis West, I might have fit in with the group of people that I knew better. None of those people played Scandinavian at Clovis West. They didn't even know what Scandinavian was. When I said I played a Scandinavian, I'm like, oh, you're not from this country? I'm like, no, it's a fucking baseball league. You know, they wore those stupid-ass shirts with the helmets with the face masks. Remember those punk-ass bitches? I always remember seeing them around. I'm like, what are you guys playing, softball? There's Babe Ruth? Never even heard of the thing, you know?
Scan was the stuff, man. That's how I grew up. My brother and I and you and Gigi Ramundo, a bunch of different guys from back in the day, too, that I still talk to on a regular basis.
Fuck yeah. And the best thing, they were teams.
Yeah.
They didn't learn about it back in the day. I don't know why everybody wasn't teams. You know, we were the A's, the Braves. Mm-hmm. I think the one team they didn't have was the Giants because everybody would fight over the Giants for some reason.
Because the Fresno Giants, the single A team used to play at Euless.
There you go. Yeah. Did you go to that?
I went a lot. So I'm a Giants fan. Because whenever we were like 8, there was a clinic that they had for Scandinavian Little League at Euless with the single A Fresno Giants. And so they paired me up with this little awkward looking guy, and he's hitting me balls. He threw with a different hand than I did and stuff, and he'd hit me grounders and soft toss and whatnot. Signed a ball and a jersey and stuff to me, and I went on my way. Yeah. And not long after that, Will Clark got called up to the big club and had a huge career, and I'm still a Giants fan to this day because of that.
Oh, that was Will?
Yeah,
he was nice to you?
Will Clark, yeah.
Oh, shit. Like, I got millions other stories. So I grew up before we moved to the house when I was, 2. Actually, I moved there when I was 2, maybe 4. But we lived across the street from that baseball stadium, so we went all the time, dude. The fiberglass legs, and then they hit a home run, and you can go. Remember, they had the fence, but they had like the
chain link on top.
Yeah. But then they also had a little dip for water. So if you're really small and skinny like I could just go and then go get those fucking baseballs. You know, I remember one time I had corduroy pants on, I dipped under the chain link fence, ripped it, and then they had the trough urinals. That was good times, bro.
Old days.
Dusty Baker was a coach back in the day. My mom dated him for a little bit.
I have a ball signed by Dusty Baker and obviously Will Clark too.
Yeah.
But Will Clark proposed to one of my buddies from McLean, his sister.
Oh,
and
yeah?
she said no.
Oh, shit.
Before he was anybody. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's pretty funny.
You take what you can get, man. Yeah, those were great baseball games. That got me, like, strange enough, but everybody I knew was Giants fans, and I used to go to the Giants games, but I went to a lot of Oakland games. I became an Oakland A's fan for some reason because everybody else was a Giants fan. I just didn't want to be on I'm not like a joiner. I was always like, oh, shit, I'm going to go against you guys then. Let's go, you know? But, dude, I still have the what they call those, the program from those Giants games. Matt Thompson, Matt Williams, a lot of people came through there. I told a story of Ricky Williams. Ricky Henderson. He played for the Modesto A's, and he came through and he stole all 4 bases. But it was so small you can hear, right? Ricky gonna steal second. Ricky's going, and then he'd be like, Ricky gonna steal home. He stole all the bases, and then obviously we never seen him again. He was shipped up. But that was a good time. You remember? I don't know if you remember. There was an event where there used to be a lady who would always sit on top of the Giants bullpen. She's always up there over and over again. And then one day she took a foul ball to the
chops.
And then I think they put a fence up at that moment and then took her down. Said no longer. But that was a good time. They'd give you little bats.
Yeah, remember little wooden bats back in the day? Yeah. That was it. Man, those and baseball cards. They were like currency to a little kid.
Well, they seemed big because we were small.
Oh, I remember whenever... Remember, Tops would come with like a piece of gum in it.
Love that gum.
It was so cool.
It was joy. Well, you were probably the same age, so we had the same exact experiences. Yeah. So in Clovis, there was a couple card shops, right? I think there was one off of like Bullard or Barstow.
I didn't come to Clovis until my freshman year in high school. I went to Wishon Elementary right next to McLean.
Okay.
And then I went to Scandinavian.
Oh,
and played ball and stuff there. And then came to Clovis High my freshman year. My dad was from Clovis, worked in Clovis.
okay.
So my
I had no idea.
aunts, dad, older brother, now my wife, daughter's son, everybody's graduated from Clovis.
Yeah, it was a crazy event when I got older. You know, so me and Stan Green were like best friends when we grew up. We like his dad went to apprenticeship with my dad. They're both plumbers. His dad owns a plumbing shop now. So like I think it was 5th grade. He moved out to the Clovis area and then started going to Mickey Cox. So he's no longer my neighbor. We still our friendship would still hang out till about Clark, and then he started doing wrestling with his different friends, and then we're getting older and started going different ways. And then me and Chris Ing were friends for a long period of time. He did rapping. I don't know if you remember he did rap.
I don't remember that. I remember Louis Everett had a partner, then they rapped in high school.
Yeah, like Black and Silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kept saying Salt and Pepper, but
Salt and Pepper, same thing,
yeah, that was when we were in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Not 9th grade.
Yeah, that was just as good. But like when I got older, I think I was 20 years old. I worked with Tony Zinger, and then Tony Zinger happens to be friends with everybody that I like grew up with, and then like all these people, I'm like, dude, like we all grew up together. Like Campbell, was friends with them, and then all these people knew each other. Like, dude, I know all you guys, man. And then I started hanging out with people from the others. Like, I should have went to this high school. I don't hang out with anybody from my own high school.
Dude, now our kids are hanging out together. Like his son's still wrestling in college, but whenever they came home at Christmas, his son and my son are like peas and carrots.
Oh yeah, who's that?
So Jackson, my son Jackson, his son Cade.
Whose son?
Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jeff's boy. So
yeah.
Good families, man. But I mean, all the same people who's still married to Becky from high school, man.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
high school sweethearts. So.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Yeah. No, this town is a very small town. Jackson, his mom is a girl to elementary school. She went to Tarpey, right?
Yeah.
The twin,
her twin sister, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a year younger or 2 years younger than me. They grew up on the block behind me on Ashcroft.
Yep.
So like, when I found that out, like, because I went to a party one time and I met Nick, tall, skinny Nick, and then Farmer.
My ex-brother-in-law. Farm was one of my best buddies growing up.
Yeah, and then I'm like...
They were roommates.
Then I found out that you and Nick married the twins. Like, what the heck? Like, or hooked up with them. Like, what? Or how we met. I'm like, man, this fucking town's crazy.
Our sons were 6 weeks apart.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And then one of the girls, I don't know which, I can't distinguish from part, married another twin who went to Buchanan.
Yeah, so my son's mom's twin, who subsequently is my neighbor. We share a back fence. She married a twin, Matt Stanley.
Yeah, the only reason I even know who that guy was originally because my cross street neighbor, when they started building Buchanan, they changed the boundaries.
Yes. And
then the people in my neighborhood who were like 3 or 4 years younger than me, like Phillips, went to Buchanan instead of Close West. So the girl across the street from me dated the twins. I think dated all of them. And then she ironically, she was, everybody has their history, I guess. But she's now very uptight, conservative. She married Jerry Tacanian's son. Yeah, so now she's like some conservative news piece on TV. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that's what I think about that.
Yeah. It was funny because like we became friends. I'm friends with her family, and then she would make comments like her.
It's not Christy, right?
No. Her name is Amy. Amy, and she married Amy Tarkanian.
I was thinking about Chrissy King. She lived right across the street.
Down the street. Yeah.
Her brother Brian King I worked with whenever we were younger at Valley Chrome.
Oh, yeah. Everybody worked at Valley Chrome back in the day.
Pizza man.
I never did.
Yeah, he's cool as,
yeah.
Cool guy.
It's a small community.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking about today. I think I heard a fact that said like 40% of people leave their hometown. And I was like, do I have anything about leaving my town? If there was job opportunity, land or whatever, I have no problem. But I have kids here. I'm kind of like invested, and like, this is beautiful. I tell everybody to come here.
Dude, I left and I came back.
Yeah.
And now I won't go. Like my wife's family, she has a sister that moved out from here to Idaho.
Yeah.
She had a sister that moved from here to Coos Bay, Oregon. And another sister that moved to Carson City, Nevada. Huh. And then her folks are thinking about going, and she's all, when are you guys going to leave? And I said, never. I'm not leaving my mom, my grandbaby. Yeah. My buddies.
Yeah. And it's all up from here. Like, because I believe in this town a lot. If you ever see, probably not, but I'm very honest about shit. I'm a heartbreaker. So when people are like, dude, this is fucking great. I'm like, yeah, no, we are great, but let's fix these fucking problems and let's not ignore them, because if we don't fix them, we're always going to be that problem. We're going to be the drunkest city in America, we're the lowest, education and all this stuff. So I love my town. Let's fix those things. Like, you're being bad on the town. I'm like, no, I'm telling you what we can improve, because we are so great. I heard I've talked about this a couple times. I heard they're going to get a Six Flags here in Fresno. They're within like a month or two of deciding if it's going to happen or not. I don't know if I haven't followed up on it, but
where would they put it?
Where do you think they're going to put that fucker?
On the west side, where they're going to put Trump's golf course.
Exactly.
Really?
Dude,
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. And the Trump thing makes me laugh too. I always tell people like about that. People, I'm like, you can get on Fresno Bee right now and look the story up. He said, I'll buy the golf course, I'll improve your airport, but I need you guys to, he probably would have screwed us over, but it might have been worked out in the long run. But he said, I need you guys to improve these city things for me. Yeah. And they said, we ain't doing shit. And then the newspaper, the quote is, then he hung up on us and we said, hello, and they never called us back. Like, yeah, somewhere somebody's going to have to take in the rear end to get a big person here.
Yeah.
To build up, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't Google have all their,
There's been inquisitions, or there's been questions about, hey, why not put a Bass Pro Shop here, this or that? But I think it's to that fact that they're just not willing to step.
No one wants to do business here.
No. Look at downtown, bro.
Dude, it's ridiculous. And they keep on going.
I had a business in downtown, and I no longer do. And I had opportunity to go into the brewery district as well with some buddies with a brewery and doing all the food and stuff. And my wife's like, we're not those people, man. Like, that's not like we'd rather be out here in the country where you got to drive towards the foothills and look at that skyline, right? Yeah. And then pull up and park in the dirt and come out and listen to Reuben singing a rap and making you laugh over here and rocking some food over here. I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah. It's a
those are the kind of people we are.
I went to Tower when I was like 19, 20. I was there for about 10 years. I did music, and it's a little bit eclectic. I'm a different kind of a cat. I'm going to play hockey and go snowboarding, but then I painted this picture, and then I'm going to do some construction, then I'm going to do some rapping, and then I'm all over the fucking place. I have ADHD, awesome. But those I love people. I love the fact that people are different, and there's but like it's really not my group. I lived down there for a long period of time, and and then I'm back in Clovis. This is kind of like me. I'm a country boy too. Like, I'm gonna be out. I was in the shower, and my wife has this little foot scrubber thing. I'm like, I hope it's a foot scrubber, by the way. It might have been a facial wash. Don't watch this shit. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm gonna rub my foot. And I'm like, clean it up. I'm looking at my foot, and I'm like, man, my foot's clean. I'm like, oh, because it's winter right now. I'm wearing shoes, but you can always tell the season is, because once that gets a little bit warmer, well, I'm out sandals and then barefoot, and then I'm in the garden, I'm building shit, and my feet are all cracked, I'm in and out of the pool, and so like, yeah, that's who I am,
Yeah, man.
That's a dream right there,
She just, it's not a knock against downtown at all.
No.
It's just that people aren't wanting to build. She said, I don't want to build our forever business or, ones that the kids can take over down there whenever. It's just not. Like our friends from here that visit the food trucker. I had a place right down the street on Clovis Avenue, event venue and a restaurant for a long time. And our friends would come there and visit us, but they're not going to drive downtown. I mean, they can't even keep a AAA baseball team.
Yeah, no, dude.
And I'm good friends with the management staff and part of the ownership group and stuff down there. And it's just it's just different, bro.
Yeah. Here's an example of Fresno. And said, I love this town, man. We have so many fucking opportunities. Please, let's fucking win, you know what I mean? But like back in the day when I was playing hockey, when I was in late teens, they wanted to open up an ice rink in Clovis.
Yes.
Right? Great idea.
There's still talks about that,
by
the way.
But the reason why they didn't, because they did a demographic study of the area and saw that the crime in that area was so bad they didn't want to bring that crime with it to the rink or where they built the rink. None of those things even fucking add up. No. It didn't make sense. The study doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you studying? That this is a poor part of town, and still is. Even if the rink shut down, it's like. And then, but I'm glad they built a nice rink, and but like they built a corporate rink next to the family.
Right.
I was in high school. When I was in high school, the guy I think the family.
Brian Kerwin, yeah.
Yeah, he went to Close West, and then his best butt friend was in my class, our class. So
Jim?
I can't remember this guy's name. It was way back in the day in high school, but they played hockey together and always talk about
There's two dudes, Chris and Jim. Jim was the one that passed away with Brian in that car wreck, and then and his family's the one that owned Icelandia back in the day.
Yeah.
And then they had another buddy, Chris, we were just talking about last night. He's still around, I guess. But...
I can't remember the guy's name, but I just remember they were talking about Iceland and going playing hockey there, and I was like, dude, you're doing what every day? Yeah, we just go fucking play. I'm like, what the I had no car, and then Close West was already like 11 miles away. It was like across town. And then my sister fucked up everything. My sister's 7 years older than I am. She's like, she got a brand new car. No, she got a Volkswagen Bugs since she was, 7 years older. So Bugs were popular. She got hit and run accident. Gave the name of a girl 4 houses down.
Oh, goodness.
So when they said, hey, we're looking for a yellow bug.
And then they see the bug 4
like,
houses
oh,
down.
there's right there. Yeah, with a dent on it. Parked at the Peach parking lot, Clovis West. Hit a teacher. Got caught ditching for 30 days. Got caught stealing while ditching. Got caught at the liquor store with an undercover cop, pimping for alcohol. Hey, I'll give you $20 if you give me fucking some beer. If they call pimping, So by the time it came to me, my parents were all... No, you ain't getting a license. You ain't getting a car. We're fucking giving you $2 a day for food, and that's it. They would go out of town for 2 weeks at a time and go like to Hawaii and shit and just leave me. And I would just have fucking ragers. But so like Isoplex or Icelandia was another town to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm never going there. My buddy, we played at the one next to my house. I can walk to Roller Town, and then he had a car and he would drive us to Visalia. It was like the blessing of a lifetime to play that much hockey.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
We just shoot ourselves in the foot. I don't know who's in control of this. I built the DD's discounts back when I was like 24 years old. All those DDs. That was when they originally came in town. The electrical company was from the LA area. It was called Gotham Electric. And he's like, dude, there is so much opportunity here. He's like, dude, you're a young electrician. I've been an electrician since I was 17. He's like, I will open a shop and you run the shop and we'll just keep doing these fucking businesses. I'm like, I'm 100% down. Let's go to this. I just had like my second kid or first, I was 28, 29, so I had a baby. I mean, it's 30. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, great idea. And then he kept on trying to get permits and deal with the city. And then the inspector would come and the inspector had no idea what he was talking about. And it made everything so difficult. He just said, I'm good. I'm just going to do these 4 jobs. I'm leaving. And never came back again.
There's a few people in this town that got it figured out that own multiple businesses, right?
Yeah.
Whether they be restaurants or businesses like the racing family, like Tarleton, right?
Yeah.
So Tom started that business, and then his son Tommy, who's our age, maybe a little bit older.
Well, I know them well.
Took it to the next level, bro.
Yeah. Well,
I think even his airplane's matte black, like all of his stuff.
Well, before the son was there, when the dad ran it, they had a lot of lawsuit issues, and then so I built like half of Visalia. I've been electrician since I was 17.
Okay.
And they pretty much were the drywallers and then the outside plaster guys.
Metal stuff frame, lath, and plaster, yeah.
Dude, and they would just hit everything up. They would bust their ass and get every fucking job possible, but they're a non-union company. And then they would, they'd have like this. I remember this guy, called him Bill Pillman. This guy was just fucking on pills. His name's not Bill Pillman, but he was just on fucking pills. And they would just hire this guy right out of fucking jail and bring him right back to the job sites over and over again. It was like, what the fuck? And then they had a lawsuit, I think, with this, because they didn't pay all their guys prevailing wage, and they were doing all these state jobs, so they had to get fucking. But then they said they got it. There are certain groups that are just like NEC Electric. They're not here no more, but they
NEC?
had no NEC. Remember they were
NEC.
Yeah, they were at the Falcons. They had their name on the fucking ice. That guy would hand out meth straight out. You show up, he would hand out meth in the morning to his fucking guys, and then at the end of the week, he would take it from your fucking check. That is not a fucking hyperbole. See my fucking own eyes and know it fucking firsthand. And he would pay everybody the lowest wages possible, and the dude died of a heart attack. Again, meth. And then the guy who ran it, who was after him, he was the biggest piece of shit. I remember that. And then but they just took. That's the problem we have in this town is they call it the trunk slammer syndrome. You have these guys that come in, they underpay everybody. That cheap labor ain't good and good labor ain't cheap.
Correct.
That's how things work out.
Right.
So these buildings weren't always up to code or lasting long period of times or really working out. And then the workers tend to have why are you paying, when I can get $35 an hour, why are you taking 12? There's a reason. You know,
Right.
criminal background, drug problem. There's a reason why, you know. So we have all these group of just fucking misfits in these companies where you're not really a legitimate company. There's no family there. I mean, you can't work there. You can't get the job done. But they just undercut everybody. And then if they couldn't, you know, pay the bill, they would close up, and they would call them trunk slammers because they're based out of their house, their truck, you know. And then now Fresno's very known for that. I've done so many union speeches in this town because my dad's third generation union guy. I built the airport, and then when I built the airport, my grandfather's name was like in the shit. He was a union plumber, and he was the only guy that was. He was super rich. He was the only guy that was bonded in town. So when you built Manchester Mall, he had to be your general contractor because he had enough money. When you built Fresno City, he was the guy. And when you built the airport, he was the guy. His neighbor was Mr. Buchanan, Dr. Buchanan.
Dr. Buchanan, yeah.
I grew up on Belmont Country Club, kind of. So I went to Tarpey, but my grandfather lived on Belmont Country Club. He was the very last lifetime member. His backyard was the 10th hole or 13th hole.
I played there last Wednesday.
Dude, I grew up there. My elementary teacher, my kindergarten teacher went there all the time. So Christmas, 4th of July, Easter, all the events, we'd be out there. And then my grandpa. So we'd go out there 3 times a month and play golf like crazy. It was like Caddyshack, because they had a pool back in the day. And then it was just a full out, 80s golf club. I was telling a story all the time, our big issue every time I showed up, because my dad's a plumber and kind of blue collar, is you couldn't wear jeans.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't own anything but jeans.
Sunnyside's old school too. They still have a pool.
Yeah.
But I think that you still have to take your hat off in the grill and silence your cell phone.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But I really like that kind of old school mentality.
Sure.
It's just kind of cool, and being a part of something where you can go in and sit right next to another plumber, another electrician, another cook, right?
Yeah.
And have a beer and have a bite to eat after you're around, and shoot the shit and pay your $2 that you lost.
Yeah.
On that putt on 18 or whatever. So
no.
Super cool, man.
Yeah. I grew up out there a lot, and then my parents bought the house by Tarpey because it was close to Airways. So my dad would go out there, and he'd I'd hold on to his car like a little monkey, and then the guy who ran Airways was
Rick back in the day.
Freitas. Sonny Freitas.
Yeah, Sonny Freitas.
Yeah, Sonny Freitas.
His kid was a stud.
Dude, I have stories about him. I went to high school with him, graduated with him.
Okay.
So his problem was he was in love. So he had a girl he was in love with in high school. He would write love notes, and he was in love with this girl, and she was, but she was wild. I won't give out names, but her family owns a funeral home in town, and then and she would date older guys because she was like the Paris Hilton of the town. Fresno Buchanan, her parents were rich, and so she dated older men, But he loved her unconditionally, and she would show me these notes in class, looking like he wrote me this note and blah blah blah. And he's like, I have a hard time concentrating when he's saying in a letter, I hard time concentrating on golf because I love you so much, And then then we hang out after high school and party a little bit, but but so when I was a kid, I grew up on Belmont or Airways. I'd go out there every day, and then Freitas cut me a little 7-iron, and I grew up playing golf. And then the Clovis homes were all straight, right? So I go in the backyard, and I just fucking tee up daily. The Happy Gilmore shot, been doing that since day one because I played hockey and everything. That's what I do, But then when I hit about 14, no one else was playing golf. I could ride my bike there, but no one was playing golf. And I literally stopped until 32.
Oh, dude, I didn't start playing until I was 12. My older brother gave me his old hand-me-down clubs. Oh, yeah. We went to the Ashland Park driving range back in the day because we lived at Cedar and Ashland, right? And then and I used to play at Palm Lakes all the time. Remember that place?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Village Green. And I played it at Scan, 7th and 8th grade golf. And our home course, I think, was Village Green or Palm Lakes. And we just played 9, but dude, it was a ball. I still play the game. I still suck, but I have fun, man. Yeah, Palm Lakes would be a great one to still have open again. Obviously, you can't because of fucking houses. That's why they. Well, what's going on there? I don't know. Well, mosquitoes mainly. Across from is it community or county offices? I thought it was county land of some sort. Mm-hmm. Oh, across the street. Yeah, the Pelco building. That's the new Social Security building across the street from. Well, yeah, I know. We used to do lunches out there for the county. Yeah, but the food truck. I think they closed the golf course down. So my dad, like I said, he's always been big into golf. Mm-hmm. So at Airways, he was vice president of the men's club forever. Sherwood Forest, he was treasurer forever. He was men's club champion a couple times.
Madeira, Chowchilla. He's been on the boards of all these places. So, when it came to Airways, which is I think it was a public course, right?
Yeah,
not Airways, but Palm Lakes.
Palm Lakes was public, yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to decide what to do with that. I think it turned into a Frisbee golf course for a little bit there.
I don't remember. I just know it was all overgrown. There's still the fence that goes along Ashland there or whatever, but nothing like there's just looks like it's just run down.
Can't even develop it?
I don't know.
Come on, do something.
Who wants to develop right there?
Yeah, I don't know. Be a perfect park area.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily put the fence up, protect the businesses, the apartments and stuff there, but make a beautiful park area. It's like I said, it's not really marketable because it's airport right there, and,
right.
so it's really loud, so it has to be some kind of industrial, but could do something with it. Don't let it sit there.
I think so. I know that Granite Park was kind of a good situation for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I think Club One going in there now and taking over is kind of gonna reinvigorate that spot a little bit. Kyle Kirkland's pretty sharp dude.
Yeah, I know.
Savvy business guy from LA.
Do they own the place where they do the country concerts too? Is that all kind of the same?
To be honest, I don't know. Well, the country concerts, so I've been catering those for a long time for Kiss Country, and that was at the $5 concerts or whatnot. That was at Woodward.
Yeah.
I don't know of any concerts.
Well, they had the one that was right by Granite Park. They have that dirt area. Sometimes they do.
On the back, the soccer?
Yeah, the soccer.
Okay.
They'll do boots.
Parallel in the park?
Some boots in the park or whatever.
Shit, I thought that was out off of West and Jensen.
Well, I did it right there.
Really?
And that's what I was saying, because my sister-in-law is big in the country. I'm like, didn't you guys hear the fucking airplanes? Like, nah, it was loud, and they had it all set up, so you drive past it over and over. So
there's a business guy in town that went to Fresno State. Everybody knows that got the lease on that. I heard for $1.
Oh man.
To help redevelop it and plant trees and kind of get it going back in the right direction.
Yeah.
I played slow pitch softball there for years, man.
Yeah. I used to play out there at the garbage dump for a while.
Yeah, I played out there too. I played slow pitch.
My union had a team. We were called the Sparkies.
Sparkies, yeah.
But
did Farm and Nut? Well, Nut probably didn't play, but Farm did probably.
Yeah, there's another guy I met, Nutmaker, because he's an electrician. So I work with those guys. I'm like, Close High guys, man. I should went to Close High. What's going on?
So me and that guy, I started riding bulls whenever I was 14, and Nut and his brother Robbie came with me.
Yeah.
The first time, and they just lost their mom like a month or two ago. I just came to Robbie's wedding.
Oh man.
He moved to Tennessee, bought a house in Tennessee with his brand new wife.
Oh yeah.
Took his mom with him. They were there for 2 days, and she passed away in her sleep.
Man.
I know, super sad, but yeah, dude, those guys are my guys for a long time. And Nut and Farm were journeymen, or they joined the union and have been journeymen for years and years, but right out of high school.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was working at Valley Chrome, and then Farm would try to learn how to play guitar, and I was playing guitar, me and Tony, and I was like, dude, be an electrician, bro. Do electrical work, bro. And he got into the union before I did, but I've been doing electrical work like a decade before he did. But, yeah, and then Nut, his daughter's mom is, I can't remember her name, but
Jill,
yeah. So Jill used to work at Sandy's Country Junction. I used to work at Sandy's Country Junction when I was high school with Sean. I went to high school with Sean. And then all my friends were cooks back there. And then Jill used to date my buddy, and whenever we were, 19, 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah, so I knew Jill.
She was my high school girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she. I think she had a crush for me. Cause we had a party. My parents would always be gone. So I had a party at my house, and then my friend, we'd always just get drunk, and she was dating him, and he passed out. And she's like, hey, I like you. I'm like, but you're my friend's girlfriend. Maybe if we met some other situation, but now, you guys touched, you know what I mean? So my circle's not going to get through your circle.
Sounds about right with that one.
Yeah.
So she...
Close.
Yeah, we dated, and then she dated one of my best friends, Nut, and married him.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that was weird.
Yeah, but I felt, we're friends, and she's been married for a long time. Her and her husband are very happy, and he plays a little golf. I so he's laughing. He puts pictures of him and his little bromance he has with some guy. They dress up,
Jimmy or what?
I don't know who the guy is, but they have
Jimmy Freeze.
There's like a once a year thing. They have a tournament where the two guys dress up like each other, and it's never really cool outfits. It's almost like the most goofy outfits they can find.
I would be down to have a fun tournament where everybody wore knickers like old school.
Oh yeah,
just below the knees, and then the long Argyle socks and the, little hats like Chappie from Happy Gilmore.
Hell yeah,
that'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Have to play the whole round with a 7-iron or something.
Yeah, with old school, you have to go to like some return clubs, you know?
Yeah, you can't pay more than $5 for your club.
They have to be actually a wood. That'd be great.
That would be gnarly.
Bring multiple ones. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Blackbeard's putter.
Yeah, I used to laugh. My dad, I don't think still this day, has ever got a hole in one. But my great grandma, my grandpa, my mom, all his friends, multiple hole in ones. You know.
I've been playing for 46. I've been playing for 30 some odd years, 34 years, and I've never gotten a hole in one, nor been with someone that's gotten a hole in one.
Mm.
But I know a ton of people that have had them.
Yeah. I've hit a few people.
I've been hit by a few people.
That's like that Mitch Hedberg joke. He says, I never got a hole in one, but I haven't hit a guy. I was going to say 4, but I was too busy saying, no way I'm going to hit him. Yeah, golf was great. When I got older though, when I was like 20, I stopped playing a little bit. But I wanted to get playing with my dad. My dad would invite me to a tournament. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go out there and fucking golf it up. I'm like at the epitome of my shape. I'm gonna fucking jack this ball up, you know. And then my dad's all cool. So this is the 8th hole right here. It's closest to the pin. So I'm like, wait, I'm gonna sit here all day and measure fucking shots. I'm not even playing. That's bullshit, you know. Like, that's it. Matter of fact, the wife and I. Maybe it was about a year now. We went to Top Golf in Vegas, and I was having a couple drinks, and then I've been golfing day one. I can smack the fucking ball. I've had both my shoulders redone, but my labrum's been torn. But I can smack the ball. I can play hockey. I can play. You know what I mean, I'm scorer. Yeah. So kid next to me, a little younger, and he fucking, oh yeah, look. My wife's like, man, he hit it far. I'm like, what'd you say? He hit it far? You think he hit it like this? So I'm smacking him, just cracking the net, and then 2 Jimmy drinks and 2 old, and then fucking
You start getting all sore.
tore my labrum
No
again.
way.
Yeah, it was already kind of like partially like kind of ripped from originally, and then fucking zip. I'm like, that was like day 1 of like a 3-day trip. I'm like, yep, we're done here. And I'm like, I gotta stop. Like you're talking about fighting. Like I gotta stop trying to. I'm gonna just kick it. You know,
That's it. I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm a grandpa now, man.
That's amazing.
The only thing I want to fight off is a cold, bud.
Yeah, not even that. I want fucking. I try to be peaceful with everybody, you know, and that's like the mask thing. People wear masks. I like to wear the mask because like I'm on here all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. I kind of look like somebody, you know, to everybody. You know what I mean? And then I'm really like interacting. I talk too much, so to wear the mask and even tattoos, bro. People are like, "Oh, you play guitar?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't play guitar." Oh yeah, and this is not my kid, or this is not my dog either. I don't even own a dog. Like, well, yeah, I fucking play guitar. You know, I stopped wearing hats. It's, you know, they're like, "Oh yeah, Warriors." Like, yeah, they're on TV. There's like millions of people wearing them. Like, I just had a store. There's a gang of them.
Well, dude, if I had good hair like you do, I wouldn't wear a hat either. Some people, your hair turned gray, mine turned loose.
Oh,
like I got none. I ran out of it. I outgrew my hair.
I was thinking about that.
I was like, I'm a hat guy every day.
You know, I think I knew you. You had hair, and then when I met you again when we were adults, you had no hair.
Yeah, you're like, what happened?
Yeah,
it just fell off.
Yeah, I actually kind of like got with that group of people. Like when I became an adult again, my son was playing baseball, and I was coaching. And you know a guy named Steve Clark?
Yeah,
yeah,
from Madera.
Yeah, so me and him, I text him all the time. You know, fucking that dude has the greatest life.
Yeah,
right? He's like, what
he's
are you doing?
Married to one of my buddy's sisters. So.
Oh yeah. He's like, I'm going to fucking Shasta right now for a fishing tournament. I'm like, yeah, you're amazing. You know, I love you.
Dude, just buy a car lot on Clovis Avenue, buy a titty joint, and you're good to go.
Oh man, he's so smart. He has a car lot and put a car lot next to it. He owns both of them. You know, and people are like, well, fuck, this other guy got a better rate. Like, well, fuck that guy. You know, and so the same fucking guy.
Same dude.
You know, I was asking him questions about city lights. You know, I was like, hey man, like, what's the business like there? He's like, I don't know. I own the building. I have no association with the company whatsoever. They pay rent. He's retired, he says, nowadays.
Dude, that's awesome. He's our age.
Just fucking collects money. His kid's like 20, killing it, you know. And he said, beautiful wife. His wife is amazing. You know, he used to go, you know, he'd always invite me to his house. And his wife's like the nicest lady, fucking super awesome. We play soccer, like a professional soccer league, and then like, not professional, adult soccer league. And he's like, I paid for you. I'm like, it was $70. He's like, yeah, I paid for you. I'm like, okay, I'll get you next week. He's like, no, I'll pay for you. I'm like, what are you talking about? You paid for me. Like, we're grown adults, bro. He's like, no, I just paid for you. I'm like, okay. It's fucking weird, you know? But it's a great,
It's all good.
great guy, you know?
Gives back. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
But like I said, coach, I met him, and then he was like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Campbell. We're playing a fantasy football team, and fucking started getting involved. And like, I'm like, oh, dude, I know all you motherfuckers, you know? And
Yeah.
so it was like a stage. Like I knew you guys when I was in elementary school playing Scan, and then I met you guys again when I was up because Tony Zinger, and then we all had kids again and met you again. Yeah. So it's just a cycle. Beautiful thing being in this town, you know? A core of being good people and a good friend. I always tell people there's only one way I'm going to treat everybody. And that's like, where do you say best friend? Because it's just a straight line. So it's like, people like say, I got to keep in contact with my friends. They're there. If they're your friends, they're there,
Right.
you know, and we're going to be in contact. We'll see them, you know, and if our lifestyles cohabit, then that's cool. But, you know, little life, dude, I've seen you probably 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know the last time I've seen you, but like we're online friends, and then like, you're my buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and
we just pick up right where we left off and just keep chatting and talk music, talk hockey, talk kids, sports, whatever, man.
Funny,
you're just one of those dudes.
I remember, like, I was thinking about your kid. Like, your kid literally does like every sport that like I grew up doing. I'm like, man, this kid does everything. He's doing hockey. He played catcher. I played catcher from on, and my kid was actually on your kid's team one time.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, hey, he played catcher and he played hockey. I'm like, man, it's the things I do.
Dude, so whenever I owned the bar, we were racing all the time.
I know.
We started racing Madera, asphalt, and then he was racing little cars, racing a late model, and they started this junior late model deal at 12. And so I put him in my car one time. He goes out and wins. I'm like, God dang it.
Fucking
just ruined that.
Yeah,
so I got him one. Yeah, super expensive. And then I have a buddy who races dirt, and he said, hey, man, come over and try these midgets out. These Ford Focus midgets. I said, okay. And we both got in them. Man, we had a ball.
Oh, bad.
And it was about half the price of what we were paying to race right here at Madera. And then we got to travel to Ventura, right on the beach. We went to Watsonville, right Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds. We're racing in Placerville, Merced right down the road. And meeting all these good people too, man. And I'm like, dude, this is bitching. So we went racing. We're doing that. And luckily he stayed safe and had moderate success. We had more fun than anything.
Yeah.
And then whenever we closed the bar, the money dried up, and he said, well, maybe I'll go back to playing hockey like whenever I was a kid. So he went back to that. Now he's 18, just graduated, and living in Montana half the year, playing junior hockey up there.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be home in the summer and trying to figure out if he's going to go back to Montana or Boston or where he's going to go to play. And
yeah, super awesome.
Yeah, dude, he's living his best life right now.
I always tell my kids, go do stuff. My oldest is 18, but he's a senior. He does like video editing and stuff. He runs a broadcasting network for Buchanan, and he's 18, right? But he's at home. You know, he's still in school, so he'd be like, Dad, can I go to my girlfriend's tonight? I'm all, do what the fuck whatever you want to do, bro. Like, just don't be an asshole. Don't fuck shit up here, and don't be loud. You know what I mean? Like, my son would never like drink or do nothing like that. He's not that kind of kid. But go live life.
No,
for
sure.
Go live life. And think about what I did when I was a kid. And like, you are way off from causing trouble. So go live life.
Dude, whenever we were kids, my son, you mentioned that he's the kid that does everything. Was because whenever I grew up, my parents never said, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, as long as I was playing a team sport, I raced bicycles and I'd play baseball and I'd play football and whatever it was, go play basketball at the school on the weekend. Whatever we were doing, they were just like, hey, he's keeping out of trouble and just having fun and staying athletic. We didn't have cell phones, right? So we weren't sitting on the couch playing video games or on our cell phone all day. Yeah. And so I kind of had the same mentality with him. And Jackson's loving it, dude. I mean, he played baseball, football growing up, and travel ball. And we've been all over with that. And then just kind of got burnt out because he played since he was 4. We were racing, having fun. He went back to hockey. But the good thing is he went back later. So now he's not burnt out, and he's trying to catch up to the guys who kept playing the whole time whenever he'd stopped. And so he's kind of making that jump right now. And then the next couple of years we'll kind of get him going in the direction he's going to go for college to play college hockey and hopefully get college paid for. So
hell yeah, that's the opportunity.
Yeah, brother.
I said when I have my kids, my daughter's doing volleyball right now, and we were she had a little talk. She's like, I just want to make sure that you're always really into sports, and you always say you're good, and blah blah blah. I want to make sure that I'm good too. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, I don't care. Like, the only thing I care about when you go do stuff is I give my kids from day one 3 rules: work hard, have fun, and then be whoever the fuck you are. My daughter's name is Presley, so go be Presley. Those are 3 things I care about. I don't care if the ball goes over the net. I don't care if you win, whatever. If you're going up there working hard, you're having fun, and you're being who you are, that's all I care about. And if you're successful at something that you're going to be successful, I cannot control that. And you cannot control that. If you put the hardest effort you possibly can, but if you're not going to be the best, it's just not your track. As long as you're having fun, that's what we're here for. And just got to be trying to supportive to all my kids. I think that's like, see, my dad was weird. Like, my dad was a coach when I was a kid for baseball and soccer. My dad was always known as coach. But my dad was a stoner. You know, my dad was just fucking, and his dad was never around, and they were poor and never got to do shit. So I realized now as an adult that my dad didn't really care about like what I was doing. He wanted to be involved in baseball and soccer and a team and a league. He's never been involved in that. And then he kind of like vicariously just got to see like me, but didn't really care if I was successful or as a team. Like when I played hockey, I paid for all that myself, my skates, my everything. My dad's never seen me fucking put on a pair of skates, ever seen me play hockey. And I literally was like down the street, I'm like, Dad, I just scored 8 goals against the Fresno Falcons today, you know, because Jay Johnson and all these guys were out there.
Right.
And then obviously like, roller hockey and ice hockey are 2 different things, you know. And then when they were starting off, they're adjusting to roller hockey was a little different. But those guys, like when they would got on the ice, what they would do with the puck was magic, you know. And I'm like, I can't do that. But on this roller hockey thing, I'm gonna fuck you up all day, you know, for some reason. And then, but like no one's ever seen me, so like I took that lesson as me from my parents, not to try to get my kids to be great or all-star, but just be supportive. Be there, get them involved in everything. Like my kid for Christmas, he got like a fishing pole, he got whittling, he got herb grow set, football, like everything's for you, buddy. I support whatever you want to do.
That's awesome.
You know, and that's what it's about, you know?
You got him growing herb already?
It's a California way. My son, so he's going to be canon. Dude, I won't say. I'll tell you this off camera, but man, terrible situations going on in the fucking school. First, you want to talk about little China, you know, like, you know, China, they have a credit score, a social credit score.
I didn't know that.
Well, they have like a social credit score. So like, if you go out and you break a law, well, you're going to have a hard time getting credit and stuff. So they're trying to keep everybody like following rules.
Good people.
Yeah. So they have a lower crime rate. So that's part of communism.
Okay.
You know? So, but at super far Republican right wing Buchanan, the kids started their own social credit score, and they have like 8 different Instagram pages of where they just narc on each other, and everybody just sends in pictures like, up, caught this guy sleeping at school, up, caught this guy eating, up, this guy took a crap at, oh, whose shoes are these? He's taking a crap at school. They're just constantly narking on each other about whatever they can find on each other, and then they post it on the websites.
Anonymously, probably.
Anonymously. So there's like, you know, they're cracking jokes at each other, you know, and so it's like they have their own personal social credit score. But anyways, my son plays quarterback by chance, and it is a fucking battle. The kid he goes against, dad pays for the team and has paid from like youth football on, like it's been like a decade of, you know, maybe plus more than that. Every coach has been fired. You know, I don't know if you noticed, Buchanan just got a new coach. They just fired their coach this year, or ended his contract.
So that's where Jackson would have went to Buchanan High. He went to Century. He went to Alta, and then we moved him to Clovis High because my girls, my wife's daughters, one went to Clovis Elementary and one was at Clovis High. Yeah. And so instead of having to go to 13 schools, it made sense. And he was ready to go. He had friends from there.
Yeah.
We're all from Clovis, right?
Yeah.
So he had friends there. But he wanted to play ball for Patrick. I played for Patrick in high school. Yeah. So he literally coached father and son.
Hell yeah.
That was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of over it. The school is more laid back, not pretentious and uppity. And we have all of our friends from Buchanan whenever he's playing ball growing up, you know.
Yeah, friends aren't going nowhere.
No, and they're rad. But I mean, he was just ready for a change of scenery, and it worked out great. He graduated from the school that I did, and my dad did, and my brother did, and my wife's kids, and it's bomb, dude.
Yeah, my kid, he wants to transfer to Clovis East. Mainly, like I said, back to herbs. They have a really good farm program over there. The team has a lot less players and a little bit less politics, and they have a new coach hiring there. They have a quarterback there too, but don't have to deal with this family anymore. And so it's just literally they've lost like every game, and the kid throws like 20 interceptions. He has more interceptions every year than touchdowns, more safeties than fucking wins. It is a joke. The last game we watched at the end of the season, they were playing against the Clovis East at the time. It was a JV game. They had no quarterback for the JV team, so they turned a cornerback into a quarterback. First game he's ever played quarterback. They haven't won any games yet. And then they played the Buchanan JV team, and the very first the kid throws a fucking interception. Very first play. Boom. I was like, that didn't take long, you know? And then so the other team, they're using the lack of skills this kid has for, like, he can't throw an accurate ball. He's, like, kind of tossing it up, and they're, like, 50-50 him. And they beat Buchanan. The kid throws, like, 3 interceptions, fumbles, safety at the end of the game to turn over the ball for them to make a winning drive and lose the game. And so at the end of the game, I'm like, you guys all deserve this because none of you parents step in. You all know what's going on. Your 8th grade coach got fired. Your 7th grade got fired. The 6th grade coach got fired. His club team got fired at 5th grade. Club team at 4th grade got fired. It literally, like, the dad just keeps on throwing fucking money out there. And, you know, he's a prominent businessman. I won't throw his name out there, but everybody knows who the guy is, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's, so we're just going to pull ourselves out of your little bullshit shenanigans of losing. And that's why if you ever see, like, sports, how many kids transfer to Central from Buchanan, they're like,
because they don't have to sit 365 because it's not another Clovis school.
And they don't have to deal with any of the bullshit too.
The bullshit politics in Clovis athletics is bothersome.
Oh yeah.
My son went from, like we talked about, from Alta to Clovis High.
Yeah.
And somebody pitched a fit, and they said, we're going to set him for 365. And I said, wait a minute. I said, what do we do here? And so the athletic director said, well, we're going to have to petition and have all the athletic directors from Clovis come, and then you're going to come in and plead your case at the office here, at Clovis Unified office. I said, okay, let's do it. And I sat down, and they said, well, what are we here for? Just all sitting back with our arms crossed. And I said, this rule about having to sit, and I said, I understand I can go to the CAF, but they're going to go by what you guys think, more importantly. And I said, it's not like he's going to set the world on fire, but I know that 2 people sitting in this room have kids playing for him, varsity, JV, and freshman sports that transferred that didn't sit. So why are you like making my son an example? At the end of the deal, I said, hey, I don't care if you like me or if you don't. I'm just a dad trying to stick up for his son. But the only person that's going to suffer is Jackson.
The kid.
Because he gets 4 years of high school eligibility, and you're going to take one from him. Yeah. And he was subsequently playing varsity his freshman year. Yeah. And they made him sit.
They made him sit still?
They made him sit still. Ugh, they said, well, he could participate in any non-CIF sanctioned games. He can suit for games. He just can't be on a roster. Like, so he was basically a bullpen catcher, and it was more like a bullshit position. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it totally took his fire out of his belly
100%.
For the game.
Yeah.
And his junior year, he started playing hockey. Quit baseball after his sophomore season. I made him stick it out. Yeah. And then he quit and went back to playing hockey his junior year. Played in San Jose, the San Jose Junior Sharks deal. And then his senior year, kind of COVID, jacked all that up, but he just kept working hard. Yeah. Skating. Now he's playing junior hockey, working on trying to be able to go play college somewhere. So
I actually was working at the Barracuda Stadium like about 6 months ago.
Really?
They're building that new stadium. It's amazing.
Yes. So we played at that rink all the time. The Bay Area, I know you work up there. I'm just not a fan of it because everybody has their own opinions about if you have to be vaccinated or if you don't, or if you need a card or if you, all this other stuff, and everything up there. Like if you want to go to Sharks game, you have to be vaccinated and prove it with a card.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere to go to a game in San Francisco, to go to a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
You heard what they did with all the, what's the place right on Clovis and Herndon right here? Burger spot. In-N-Out.
In-N-Out?
Yeah, In-N-Out in San Francisco. They said, we're going to shut you down because you're not checking people's vaccination status whenever they're entering your business.
I mean, they don't want to check that.
And they said, we're not the vaccination police. We're here to serve burgers and shakes.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
So they said, okay, F you, we'll close and just open for to go. And that's what they've done ever since.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if they had to go here.
Right?
Or just delivery. Anyways, Barry is not my speed either. My family's from Oakland. My parents went to Richmond High down there in the Bay Area. So the whole family's from the Bay Area. I used to go down there. So vacation back and forth, Concord, Vallejo, back and forth. And
Yeah.
it's never been my speed, I'm a Clovis kid. I'm a kind of country. I wrote a song says I'm a little bit more rock and roll than I am country boy. But that's my mixture right there. It's a little bit rock and roll, a little bit country. I'm going to ride my BMX bike. But I'm not city. That's what I'm talking about. Where the Tower District is a little more city, a little more. It's our little Bay Area. Nothing against it. I mean, it's just everybody has their own, and I still high five you and I support you. Hope you guys, your success is my success.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I'm a card carrying, gun toting Clovis kid, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not welcome with my concealed weapons permit and my pistol in the city of San Francisco.
Yeah.
I just don't like that, dude.
Well, I see. I'm a gun owner. I'm pro gun. Into certain situations, there's obviously a lot of bullshit that goes into like the NRA. They hired Oliver North to be the representative, and he got in there. He's like, "Oh, you guys are all scammers." He said, "You guys are funneling money in and out." And even like when Donald Trump was president in his first year, he was in office. They had a shooting, right? So he was in Congress. He has that meeting where he says, "Look, I don't want to wait till you guys decide what you want to do." He says, "I'm just going to go take the guns from these people who are possible shooters, and then we'll worry about it in court later." And then the Republican guy, I can't remember the guy's name, he says, "No, you don't understand how strong the gun lobbyists are." And this is one of the things I like about Trump. Not a Trump supporter, but he says, "No, they control you, but they don't control me." And the guy says, "No, sir, I don't think you understand how strong the NRA is." And then that was the end of that meeting. And that's some bullshit about the whole system, you know what I mean? And I talk about guns all the time. But like in Fresno and Clovis are handing out carry weapons permit, but like very few places, like I get it, you're going to be at work. Yeah, you're traveling 100%. A job and business, protect your business, security, whatever you got to go.
Absolutely.
Gunfire is a hard one. Like, I try to be a realist about shit. You know what I mean? Like, so
Absolutely.
like, I always say if someone broke into my house, all we got to do is just drop the hammer, right? Because it's not like fucking TV. I don't have like the antidote. Like, so there's not going to be like a shootout, Oh no, we got to get to the top secret before we leave. It's a crackhead, and they hear, "Oh shit," or a dog is gone. And the other thing is that I don't want to shoot a hole in the top of my house because I'm not really a religious person, but like, I don't want to kill anybody or clean up the blood, And then also, my gun ain't indiscriminative. I got my neighbor's kids, and I got my kids, and I got my old lady neighbor. So like, there's a very small window at my house that I think that's clear not to kill anybody.
Right.
Guaranteed. They did a study on like police officers, sharpshooters, and they said when they put them in like high stress situations, their accuracy drops down to 17 to 27%. That's our trained police officers, sharpshooters who are probably ex-military.
Right.
So it's like, it's a hard thing when the guns, like during the riots, they said they were shooting, cops had rubber bullets. I'm like, they got rubber bullets? Well, just
less lethal, they call it.
Yeah, less lethal. Well, how about you load every cop gun with 4 rubber bullets, and after that, it's go time. And everybody knows, like, oh, shit.
The fifth one.
Yeah, fifth one,
one's hot.
I'm dying. But then also, like, I think about it, like, to be, like, a realist, it gives that cop a 4-shot, almost, like, leniency, like, okay, I'm not going to make the fucking news today. Right. My family's not ruined for this job that is entitled at this small percentage to shoot it, that at least I'm protecting myself at some point, too. Because with the gun... Fuck, dude, for the cops, it's like that girl who pulled her gun instead of her taser.
Right.
Fuck, bro. One, she should never even had that job. She dropped down and cried instantly. What maybe I might have done too. You don't know. But like, she's like, I never pulled my gun or taser before. I'm like, oh, fuck, this whole situation is, there's not a good end to this.
No.
It's just a fucking, there's no demonizing anybody except for who hired her? Who hired that lady? Like, there's need to be some kind of test or like, I don't fucking know.
You would think that the hiring process has several different hoops to jump through. We have friends in law enforcement, right? And it's not easy. It's a long time taking process
in bigger cities like Fresno.
Yeah.
So I get on because I drive out of town. I have a lot of time to watch YouTube and shit. I start getting onto Florida has this sheriff. He's pretty entertaining the way he talks, and dude, Florida is a fucking murder capital. Like,
it's like the Wild West.
Dude, it's fucking wild. So the stories this guy tells, and then he'll straight out picture, this guy is an evil person. Let me tell you what this guy did. And it's like, you got me. I'm sold. So they'll tell the stories. I'm like, man, it's fucking crazy. But then I started getting into, like, they do the First Amendment type bullshit, or the First Amendment, the camera. I'm just videotaping, and, you know, like, there's a lot of Fresno ones of just talking to cops and shit. So I'll start watching those. But then you find these where the FBI starts investigating these smaller sheriffs or police departments where they have people on payroll. So they only have like 8 people in general. 3 of them don't even work there, collect weekly checks. The guy who's in charge rarely dresses in his uniform. You know, it's like, and they start, I watched investigation, like, man, you say, how's this possible? But there's just so many of these entities and they're not affiliated with each other. And it's just city owned by, you know, and like, who runs this city? And then that guy voted the next guy. And then like fucking, you know, it's chaos.
I'm trying to think of some celebrities that have become law enforcement.
Fucking, it was
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, and then Shaq, he's a sheriff. I think.
Is Chuck Norris in law enforcement also?
He is God. He's everything.
He should.
Yeah, I don't know. He's if he got into it or not. But who's the other guy? Not. Fucking. I just think about that. Not Ted Nugent.
Yeah, probably Ted Nugent too. Yeah,
crazy motherfucker. It's funny, you know, Ted Nugent. You know that when he was younger, he didn't do drugs, didn't smoke weed, didn't drink. That was his thing. He was kind of a straight-laced guy. He's a country boy, gun shooter. But what he did was fuck underage girls. Yeah, his wife. He had her emancipated, Hawaiian chick. She was like 16, 15 years old. And
who is this?
Ted Nugent.
No way,
dude. His #1 song is Jailbait. You know, he fucking, you know, is, you know, cat scratch fever.
Yeah.
It's fucking about, it's fucking young pussy. It's like, he's a pussy hound, you know?
Dude, that's crazy.
And I always trip out on this, you know, and then on the fact that, like, he would be part of, like, a QAnon thing. I'm like, do you guys research that guy? You know, I was like, trip out. Like, I always trip out. People don't know a lot of people about people like Newt Gingrich. They made a joke about him on SNL the other day. And my wife said, why did they say that? And why did he say that he would cheat on his wife? I was like, oh, because when he was in office during Bill Clinton's, his wife got cancer and he fucked his intern and left his wife. And then that lady got cancer and he did it again, you know? John McCain, when he used to go around with his family, that's not his family. He was married before, but when he came back as a POW, he was doing this POW tour. He met a governor's daughter, left his family, married her. You know, it's like a whole fucking line of these people. Like, come on, we got to know who these people are. Look, we have the phone. Google it. I was, you know, TikTok, bro. You get on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm a food TikTok junkie.
Oh, that's good. I realized last night I was watching TikTok and it's just like hardcore Trump supporter after another. Like, it's like banner, hat, you know, it's like all this stuff. And I'm like, why am I seeing this stuff? I created that. One of my feed. I created the feed. So I'm like, I gotta start changing it. But there are so many of these people like who are like, they have a Trump hat on and a Trump hat banner, and they're like, yeah, we're pro guns. It's like, you can just YouTube what I just told you, that he's never shot a gun before. You'll never find a picture of him shooting guns. He's not a gun guy. You know, I always say a rich man doesn't care about guns because they only affect you and me. Right? Because we kind of need guns maybe to protect ourselves because someone could steal my money and steal my shit, and then we have nothing. No one's stealing Trump's money with guns unless it's a military. So he's like, oh yeah, I can probably get an investment. You know, prison, guns, self-defense, all this stuff, just money-making scheme. You know, not schemes, but money-making ideas for the rich man. He has protection. People with guns protect him. So, you know, if you guys want guns, you know, I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. You know what I mean? But he's never shot a gun. He's never been pro-gun in his life. You know, he didn't even join the military.
Did you know that my dad had a gun shop right here on Clovis Avenue?
No, where at?
In the early 80s, where I believe it is where Trey Leo is now.
Oh.
Back in the day, there was nothing on the east side of the road. There was an old rock monument straight out, and then it had wooden floors in it, and he had Clovis Rod and Gun, the OG.
So is Clovis and what?
It was at Clovis between 4th and 5th.
4th and 5th.
Like 2 doors down from DeChico's.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Okay.
And then he had it with a partner for a couple of years. Whenever I was a kid, he had his federal firearms license forever. I grew up shooting whenever I was a little guy.
Yeah.
But it just an enthusiast. I mean, like I like shooting targets. I like, hunting, dove hunting in the wintertime, right? And I'm just a fan. I love shooting trap. More than shooting doves, I like going up to Sun Mountain and shooting clay pigeons. And
that's fun.
Doing it at my in-laws' house in Squaw Valley. It's just a ball. Just fun, man.
Yeah. I have a bow, and I like shooting my bow too. That's
I
fun.
do too, yeah.
When I was a kid, my parents were kind of like, my parents grew up in the Bay, and they're kind of, I'm named after a political activist and a boxer. And my dad's always been, he's always worked the voting poll and the voting booths here in town and being a union member. So it's always been into politics and watching TV and shit. But and growing up in the Vietnam War, my dad's never been pro-gun. And then because of I don't know if you know the history of Black Panthers. So
Not a lot, no.
In California, especially Oakland, the cops were really, this you got to think about the 60s. They were just beating up black people and taking their money and harassing them. And there was no way to really catch it, So the Black Panthers in Oakland, or the people in Oakland said, fuck it, we're going to just start a group together and monitor the police action and protect our community. So they got, gun, they call themselves the Black Panthers. And that's all it was just to monitor the police. And then people started seeing these black people with guns walking down the street, which is, in California, was 100% legal to open carry. And they're like, we need to change some motherfucking laws here in California. And that's when the gun laws changed because of the Black Panthers. But my dad has seen always guns in his way, so he's never had guns in the house. But I grew up loving Red Dawn, Rambo. I've been a gun enthusiast from day one. My wife had her CCW forever, and but it got to the point she couldn't carry it anywhere. Can't take it to school. If you go to the bar, can't take it on a plane. There's so many places that can't take it. It would just started becoming an inconvenience. Yeah,
I don't. Man, I've always had them in my pickup.
Yeah,
just everywhere. You know what I mean? You just never know. Talk about crackheads and people doing crazy shit in the different sides of this town and all the just wild stuff. Like there was a bar that I used to work at back in the day. It was the Office back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's called Elliot's. 2 nights ago, there's 2 people got stabbed in an 8-on-8 fight.
Yeah.
Over what football team lost.
Yeah. So
I kid you not.
Yeah. So back then, I've learned the hardest. We're humans, and all we do is fucking fight. That's pretty much what we do. And then so every once in a while we'll write a good song, but they over here down the street, the Palace, when they opened up, they had someone get shot out front. He got carded, didn't have his ID, kicked him out, came back, fucking shot the guy. Freshman. We're talking about Yules. That was Yules were famous for, right? They had to shoot the stabbing or the killing out there over on fucking Kings Canyon. Yeah. But they say though, most likely, random acts of violence are very, very, very few. It's always love or because, like we said, you're getting involved in something maybe you could avoid, But still, it's always going to be safe. Did you see the guy yesterday? They released a video. He shot from his car, the road rage guy.
No.
So he cut somebody off. It's driving on the freeway, and he has a dash cam, and this guy is just waiting for the moment,
Right.
So he cuts somebody off, and the guy fucking flashes him. So he's like, "Fuck that guy," and he fucking breaks him. And then goes, and there's a lot of traffic. And as soon as he breaks him, that guy opens the center console, brings his fucking gun out, loads his fucking clip, sex it nets him. They're fucking driving, so the gun's right on the seat. And the guy behind him, he fucking tries to get around the guy, he pulls around to the guy. The guy has his gun out now. He's ready to fucking shoot, driving down the street. All his windows are closed, The guy drives by, he's fucking just throws a water bottle in his car. The guy shoots fucking, unloads the clip, shoots all his windows out in his own car, on his own dash cam. Obviously, he's going to Indian jail right now.
Where is this? This wasn't local, was it?
No, this was probably Florida. I wouldn't doubt it. It was a road rage fucking shooting. It's probably number one thing. Caught on camera. This guy, wild dashboard, Florida, hit it on the fucking spot, bro. In his fucking car, just reached da. But he's
and his own dash cam caught him.
Own dash cam.
What a donkey.
Yeah, and so if you have a camera in the first place, that's a problem. I think is sometimes these people are like, back in the days, they hear people say all the time, like, I can't wait till someone comes to my house. Like, you can't wait to kill somebody?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't even know what
Your
you're
whole
saying,
life
bro.
would change.
Like, and then they say your religion, like, no matter what religion you have, there's no, like, I can't wait to kill someone who comes on my property to see what their problem is. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has a different perspective in life. I don't want to take my shit. My perspective is protect my family, number one.
That's it.
You know what I mean? But also protecting my family is not to go to jail. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So here's my thing about guns. Okay, I'll tell you this, and I try not to give too many opinions because everybody has them. But in my opinions, I think are grand. If I'm going to give you my point of view on political stuff or whatever it is, it's not bullshit like guns are bad. You know, Trump is bad. That's not a good answer to me. I have really fucking good opinions. So this is my opinion about guns. One, I love guns. Right? Guns are awesome. Never going to go away. Impossible. The numbers are too big.
Yeah,
right?
They can't get them all.
The fact about guns is they've been around since day one the country started, but we had a militia because we didn't believe in a standing military at the time. Right? You know, we just got defeated by a military. We're not going to be like, our government's going to set a military up, and then people are like, yay, a military again? Like, people are like, fuck no, we'll be our own military. We have guns, we'll protect our own country. And then they used to have muster points. This is at day one, our founding fathers. You have to come bring your gun. You had to be a white landowner. You couldn't be some black dude with a gun or, Indian guy with a gun. You had to be the white landowner. And then you had to show allegiance to America. Because at the time, still, people love fucking, the foreign flag, at that time. So you had to say, I'm American, patriot, and I love fucking America. Then you have your gun. We had muster points. You couldn't, obviously, they were muskets, so you couldn't carry a loaded gun in your house. No one had them in their cars because they would just fire. And, fucking how you keeping the black powder in the first place? I mean,
right.
So you couldn't do any of that thing. You couldn't have a loaded gun or carry a gun with you legally in America until they invented the Colt revolver. When they invented the Colt revolver, like, we need to get this out to fucking everybody, right? So they passed a fucking rule like, hey, everybody's going to fucking own guns now. So now everybody can own guns. And then right away, towns on their own during the Wild West said, this is dumb. And they started passing laws where there's no guns allowed in town. So you see country music, no one had gun, or country music, country movies, they didn't have guns. They had to check them in with the sheriff, and they give you a coin. And then you had the coin when you leave town, you get your gun back. That's when someone came in town with a gun, every music stopped like something bad's happening because you didn't check in with the sheriff. And our town is trying to protect itself. And then at that point, America's been wild ever since. And gun laws, obviously in the 1900s we had illegal fully automatics because the mob got fully automatics and the police had no chance, right?
Right.
And then in L.A., that's
Tommy
when L.A. got assault rifles when they had that L.A. robbery in the L.A. in the 80s. Remember, they all had assault rifles and body armor, and they robbed the bank. And then the guys were dispersing, and finally the cops kind of shot them around the car. But they didn't have assault rifles. They had to go to a gun store and get assault rifles that day. Like, we need guns. They have fucking military guns. So they gave them guns, and that changed the process. So my thing is, those are all facts. If we don't make gun laws as gun loaners, people with no guns are going to make them for us. So as a CCW, right? Mm-hmm. Right now, anybody can buy a gun. If you're 80, you have no hands, and you're blind, you can buy a gun. As long as you
got to pass a test.
No, not
the test. You only have to get like 40% or 60% right. So you can probably multiple guess your way to the
Are you talking
ability
about for a handgun?
To buy one.
But a rifle,
you can still go in and buy one, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if you have to take a test or not. Do you?
No, for a rifle. And the handgun, you have to take the basic written test, like you said. And pretty much it was like, here's the answers, boy. You know what I mean? And then but there's no shooting. There's no there's no like test. You can go in there like, what do you buy the gun for? To kill white people. But there's like no real test. But the CCW there is. You have to shoot a 5, a 10, a 15. You have to actually use the gun, which I like. So imagine there's a class run associated not by exactly from the government, but the government has like a kind of a little bit of a license checking at the end, but the NRA and local businesses or local authority has a licensing for guns. So you want to shoot a 50 millimeter, ain't gonna happen unless you go ahead and you be willing to do this. Go to the NRA and sign up and give your information and fingerprint and go take a test and learn about it. Start learning about speed, and then if you're gonna have you're part of our militia here in America, you're going to be a trained, and then that'd be like, look, I got this card, motherfucker. It says I can shoot at 1,000 yards. And then be like, oh shit, I got my 1,500. Like, it would be a gun enthusiast thing. And then it would be created by the gun enthusiast. Nothing taking away guns, just back to what the NRA was, educating people and making sure the people that should have guns do have guns. We don't have a problem with that. It's no different than like voting with an ID and having, an ID to get a gun, or kind of the same thing. We're not the same people,
Right.
car to have fucking insurance and all this other crap. So that's like one of my ideas is like, maybe we can create an opportunity for us who love guns, that maybe maybe we're not going to let you take the 50 millimeter home, but you can go to our armory and have those things, or you bought it, you kept it, whatever, and then it's not going to be government regulated. This NRA regulated or something like that,
Sure.
I don't have an answer, but just an opportunity to make sure that the education is back in firearms, not take away, but educate them. And then, there's something called I think it's called the Ted T. Hart Amendment. There's a guy named Ted T. Hart. This was like 20 years ago. So they passed like these laws where you had to get like a 10-day, background check, blah, 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 when they didn't want to do none of that stuff. So he passed this amendment that said that if you can't get like the background check done in like 24 hours, they don't do the background check on you anymore, but they still don't give you the gun in 10 days. If Smith & Wesson makes a gun, who has a record of the gun? Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
Then they send it to the gun store. Who has a record of the gun? Just those two people.
Right.
If the gun gets stolen, who has a record of any information? Nobody. They can, and really, if they wanted to.
Before it goes to the DOJ. So the DOJ does the background check on you before, like your 10-day holding period.
Yeah, before we get the gun.
Correct.
But before we get it, because like, I won't put any names out there, but a lot of local gun stores are very, very pro-gun. Mm-hmm. And they do whatever possible to get you the gun you want. I remember back when they started with the clip thing. They'll say, oh, yeah, here you go. Buy this, leave, come back and buy this. You can have your clip. They would tell you how to get the clip,
My wife.
Hey, no problem. Take the phone
boss.
call. Hey, that's like I said, that's the most important thing is the family here.
Can you pause for
Yeah,
that?
we can pause. 1 second.
Station identification.